So, they left you on read for months, disappeared without a trace, and now out of nowhere your phone lights up with their name. Your heart skips a beat, your mind floods with questions, and for a split second, you wonder if this is fate. But here's the truth, not every "I miss you" means "I've changed." And before you say a single word back, there are 4 things you need to know. When your ex tries to come back, it's tempting to think this is your second chance at a happy ending. But the truth, it's your chance to show just how far you've grown since they left. You're not here to hand out free passes to people who broke your trust. You're here to live your life so fully that anyone who walks away once has to think twice before they ever let you go again. If you want, I can also give you an upgraded version with short, punchy audience engagement moments, so it feels even more like a live stage talk that hooks people at every turn. That would make it truly in that confident coaching style you're looking for. Would you like me to do that next? When someone from your past suddenly reappears, it can feel like a wave crashing over you, unexpected, intense, and impossible to ignore in the moment. The sound of their name, the way they used to make you feel, and the moments you shared together can all come rushing back in an instant. Your brain has this sneaky way of polishing the old memories, making them shine brighter than they really were, while quietly sweeping the painful moments into the shadows. That's nostalgia at work, a beautiful but dangerous storyteller that often edits out the chapters you really need to remember. It's the reason why someone who hurt you before can suddenly feel safe, familiar, and comforting now. But feelings like that can be misleading, and if you don't recognize the trick your mind is playing, you can end up walking back into a situation you fought hard to get out of. It's natural to miss the laughter, the inside jokes, the moments when things felt easy. But those moments didn't tell the whole story. That same person who made you laugh also left you hanging. The same voice you're excited to hear again was silent when you needed reassurance the most. When they ghosted you, they didn't just disappear from your phone, they disappeared from your emotional safety net, from your trust, from the picture of the future you thought you were building. That's not something a single text can undo. You have to ground yourself in reality. Before you even consider replying, pause and replay the entire relationship in your mind, not just the highlight reel. Bring back the times you questioned your worth because they withdrew without explanation. Remember the confusion, the overthinking, the unanswered questions you sat with night after night. If you skip over those moments, you're not making a decision, you're falling for a feeling. And feelings, especially the ones wrapped in nostalgia, can pull you towards something that isn't good for you. This doesn't mean you have to hold on to anger or resentment. It means you need to hold on to truth. The truth of what happened, how it affected you, and why you had to move forward without them. That clarity is your anchor. Without it, you risk letting a moment of emotional softness undo months of strength and healing. Because here's the reality: people don't usually reappear because they've suddenly become the perfect partner. More often, they reappear because something in their life shifted, not because they've resolved what broke yours. And if you let nostalgia speak louder than memory, you'll confuse their return with your rescue. When someone who ghosted you suddenly reappears, it's important to remember that their absence wasn't just about time, it was about trust. When they walked away without an explanation, they didn't simply take themselves out of your life for a while. They made a withdrawal from the emotional account you shared. And just like in any kind of account, when the balance is low, it takes more than a single deposit to restore it. A quick "Hey, how have you been?" might feel warm or flattering in the moment, but it doesn't erase the fact that they left without closure. If they want to reconnect, they need to earn the privilege of your time and presence again. Many people make the mistake of thinking that because an ex reaches out, it automatically means they deserve a reply. But your attention, your energy, and your emotional space are valuable, far more valuable than most people realize until they've been drained by the wrong person. You're not obligated to make room for them just because they've decided it's convenient for them now. You have the right to protect your peace and to be selective about who gets access to you. That means not rushing to clear your calendar or rearranging your life just to fit them back in. Think of it like a VIP event. Maybe at one point they were on the guest list, but then they left unannounced in the middle of the party without saying goodbye or explaining why. If they show up again, they don't automatically get to walk straight back in. They wait at the door, they show they're serious, they prove they've changed, and you decide if and when they're allowed in again, if at all. This isn't about being cruel, it's about protecting yourself from repeating a painful cycle. This also means you have to pay attention to patterns. Did they ghost you before when things got difficult? Did they only seem fully present when it was easy or convenient for them? If that's the case, you can expect the same behavior again unless they've done serious work on themselves, and proving that takes time, not a couple of charming messages. Your time is one of your most precious resources, and once you give it away, you can't get it back. So if someone wants back into your life, they need to show you through consistent action that they've earned the right to be there. Until then, you keep your boundaries high, your standards firm, and your focus on the life you've been building without them. When someone who ghosted you suddenly comes back, they often try to take control of the story from the very first message. They might open with something casual, as if nothing happened, "Hey, stranger," or "I've been thinking about you." Or they might give a vague explanation like, "I've been so busy," or "I just needed some space." All of these are designed, consciously or not, to set the tone on their terms. They're subtly inviting you to fall back into the old dynamic where they lead and you respond. But here's the thing, the moment they left without a word, they gave up the right to control the frame of the conversation. If they want to come back, this time you decide the tone, the pace, and the boundaries. Leading the interaction doesn't mean being aggressive or cold. It means holding your ground and making sure you don't slip into a role where you're chasing them, over-explaining, or rushing to make them feel comfortable. When they reach out, keep your responses short, calm, and neutral. Something as simple as, "Hey, been busy too. What's up?" communicates a lot more than it seems on the surface. It says you're not sitting around waiting. You have your own life going on, and you're not about to throw yourself into an emotional reunion just because they decided to show up. Setting the tone also means you don't get pulled into their rhythm. If they message you late at night, you don't need to reply right away. If they want to catch up immediately, you don't have to agree. By slowing the pace, you're making it clear that any connection will move forward on your timeline, not theirs. This not only gives you space to think clearly, but also forces them to show consistent effort instead of relying on a burst of attention to win you back. One of the strongest positions you can take is to respond in a way that reflects the life you've built since they left. Mention your busy schedule, your new goals, or the things you're enjoying without them, not to brag, but to subtly remind them that your world didn't stop when they walked away. People respect what they can't instantly have, and by leading the tone of the interaction, you show them they're not walking back into the same version of you they once knew. You've grown, you've moved forward, and if they want to be part of your life again, they'll have to follow your lead this time, not the other way around. When someone who ghosted you comes back, it's easy to get swept up in the words they say. They might tell you they've missed you, that they regret leaving, or that they've been thinking about you every day. They may even apologize and promise things will be different this time. And while hearing those things can feel comforting, especially after the pain of being ignored or abandoned, it's crucial to remember that words are the easiest part of reconciliation. They cost nothing, require no real effort, and can be spoken without any genuine intention to follow through. What truly matters is not what they say in the moment, but what they consistently do afterward. You have to become a careful observer of their behavior. Do they follow through on the promises they make? Are they consistent in how they show up for you, or do they disappear again when things get inconvenient? Do they make time for you without you having to chase them? Actions reveal priorities in a way words never can. If their actions align with their claims over a period of time, and I mean weeks or months, not a few days. That's when you can start to assess whether they're truly different. It's also important to recognize that some people return out of loneliness, boredom, or a temporary need for comfort, not because they've genuinely reflected on their past mistakes or grown from them. This is why paying attention to their consistency is so important. If they're only putting in effort when they want something or when they're feeling low, that's not change, that's convenience. And if you allow them back in based solely on emotional words, you run the risk of repeating the same cycle that hurt you in the first place. Your reply to them should make it clear, directly or indirectly, that access to you is earned through consistent behavior, not emotional speeches. It's perfectly fine to be polite, but your boundaries should remain strong. If they sense you'll welcome them back easily just because they express regret, there's no incentive for them to truly prove themselves. The more you base your decision on actions instead of promises, the more you protect yourself from falling into the same trap. Remember, people can talk about change all day long, but only time and repeated effort can confirm if it's real. Until their actions have shown you that they value, respect, and prioritize you, your emotional door should remain cautiously guarded. When your ex tries to come back after ghosting you, the easiest thing in the world is to slip into the emotional comfort of the past. You remember the laughter, the connection, and the moments that made you feel safe and understood. But those memories are incomplete without the moments of silence, the confusion, and the hurt they caused when they walked away without warning. Moving forward isn't about denying those good memories. It's about holding both truths at the same time. Yes, there were moments of joy, but there was also a breach of trust. That balance of memory keeps you from making decisions with only half the story in mind. It keeps you grounded, even when your heart wants to run ahead of your head. The return of someone who once abandoned you isn't an automatic reason to celebrate. It's an opportunity, but not for them. It's an opportunity for you to demonstrate the growth, strength, and self-respect you've developed in their absence. You're not obligated to let anyone back into your life just because they've decided they want back in. Your attention is valuable and your time is precious. If they want the privilege of both, they must be willing to earn it through consistency, accountability, and proof of genuine change. Anything less means they're not ready for the kind of relationship you deserve. Taking the lead when they return ensures that you're not pulled into their version of the story or their desired pace. You're no longer reacting, you're setting the tone. This shift in dynamic shows them and yourself that you're not frozen in the same place they left you. You've moved forward, and if they want to be part of your life, they'll have to meet you where you are now, not where you were then. Leadership in this context isn't about control for the sake of control. It's about protecting your emotional well-being and ensuring that you're not dragged back into a dynamic that once hurt you. In the end, it's not their return that matters, it's what happens after. Words can be warm, convincing, and emotionally satisfying, but they are also fleeting. Actions are the true test. Anyone can express regret or declare they've changed. Only their behavior over time can confirm whether that change is real. You owe it to yourself to wait and see if their actions align with their words before you even consider lowering your guard. Because love, respect, and trust are not built in a moment, they're rebuilt through repeated, consistent effort. And until that effort is evident, your heart deserves the same protection it needed the day they walked away. Thank you so much for watching and spending your valuable time here. I truly appreciate your support, your attention, and your willingness to grow alongside these messages. Remember, your worth is not determined by who leaves or who comes back, it's defined by how you choose to value yourself every single day. If this video spoke to you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you never miss more empowering content like this. Until next time, take care of your heart, protect your peace, and keep moving forward with strength and self-respect. Goodbye for now, and I'll see you in the next one.